Welcome, welcome, Libras. How are you guys doing? Been a while, huh? Yeah, I haven't been able to do a full reading for you guys in quite a while. So, for those of you that are brand new, my name is Patty. I am the Divine Warrior Intuitive. I do have a website, divinewarriorintuitive.com. I also have another YouTube channel, as you see behind me. I'm a leathersmith. I also teach leather, or I'm going to be teaching leather. I shouldn't say that. I'm starting to get things ready to teach leather, but also to have a YouTube channel on saddlery and all that kinds of leather craft. So if that's something you enjoy, please shoot over to the Leather Lady LLC. All right, let's get started. Tarot. Let's get started, Libras. I've been doing a couple of readings already, so I'm going to take a break after this one and do the rest of them. But we're going to be doing the moon. We're at the tail end energies of the new moon that we just had on the 20th. It's the 23rd, so we're just sort of feeling that dissipate. However, guys, because of what the planets are doing, Mars, Uranus, and Venus, as well as some retrogrades happening, some sextiles happening, and things of that nature. The energies are still going to be a little bit off kilter. So if you didn't watch my full moon reading, go back and watch that for the month because that's still playing till the end of the month. And also to up through Valentine's Day, that irritable energy, that energy that is like really seriously, what is happening? Everything is going sort of haywire, not so much wrong, but just haywire. People are like nee at each other. Um, Things are just not going smoothly. That energy is dissipating a little bit more as we get closer to the end of the month. However, that is still happening. The month closes out with more of a calmer energy, more of a forward moving energy. However, that energy is still there. So don't push yourself too hard or get caught up in all the noise. If you need to go make space for yourself, Libras, go make space, make a quiet place. Go sit in a closet, go sit in your car, go sit out in nature. Although you wouldn't want to do that today. We got a snowstorm that just came in. Now Oregon doesn't get a snow lower usually. Some places got 10 inches of snow. Wow. Mountains probably got quite a bit. But we have snow today. It's very beautiful, very tranquil. I love it, especially if it's at night and you're walking in, sit there and listen to nothing. It's an amazing energy. It's a phenomenal energy. If you ever get the chance, do it. Step outside at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning in tranquil peace when it's snowing. You will refuel yourself with all those energies. Um, but if you're not in the snow, you can do that at night when everything is tranquil and quiet as well. So we're going to do a pull card for the moon. That energy is going away. However, I wanted to pull it because we still are 3 days after the moon, either the full moon or new moon, 3 days before, 3 days after, then it sort of dissipates. It was a new moon in Pisces, so definitely wanting to go more with the flow. Go, don't try to control everything, make things easier. But when I pulled the moon card, it is the balsamic moon. It is a time for healing. This is definitely towards the end of the month. That definitely is what's happening towards the end of the month. There is something that you need to heal from. Pay attention to what you need to heal from. A lot of what's going on with a lot of the signs today is really paying attention to yourself, your physical self versus your spiritual self, because a lot of the times we make our own decisions and conflicts in our life because of the choices and decisions we make. A lot of the times we make those decisions because of the flesh, because of our head, our mind, of what we want, rather than what we really should be doing. So if it says, don't eat that chocolate, you're trying to lose weight, and you're like, forget it, I'll work on it tomorrow, and you eat the chocolate, then you feel guilty, and then so you're doing things that are conflicting, which really made sense when I just pulled the Divine's card, because what we're doing is we're trying to live on both sides of the fence. I want to do this, but then I really want to do this. But I really shouldn't be doing this if I want this. Does that make sense? So I really want to save money to buy a new car. Okay. But I'm spending money, so I can't buy the new car. But then I still really want the new car, but I really now can't buy the new car. Does that make sense? Because Divine is saying you're living between the lines. The land, it could be a dimension, it could be a place of whatever you're wanting. The thing in the middle is what you really, really want. However, you're having struggle getting there. It is also the number 4. So that means, you're trying to make something solid, trying to understand to get something solid set in stone, or building a new foundation, or um, creating a new foundation, or making balance in your life, because number 4 is about balance and foundation and things of that nature. So you can't live on both sides of the fence. You got to know what you want, you got to go for it, and if you got to sacrifice a little bit, you got to sacrifice a little bit. But in all the ends, the rewards, but you got to pick which side of the fence you want. Sort of like when you talk about, if you look at, because I grew up Christian, but I'm more spiritual than I am now, but I do believe what they were talking about in Christianity is like, you cannot have spirituality and move in spirituality and still have the flesh. So you really have to give up really wanting things of the flesh, and then saying, okay, I'm going to follow, and then you get it no matter what because you follow. I know that's probably it might be, I might be talking sort of above level for you guys to understand, but hopefully not. Hopefully not, because it did definitely, if you're watching this and it resonates with you, then oh, what am I doing? I need to do these other ones. So really pay attention to where you're at. Somebody's in between. You can't have both. It'd be like saying, okay, I have this boyfriend over here, but I really love this boyfriend, but I don't want to lose this boyfriend. So I'm just going to date both of them. That's not fair. That's living in the middle. And that's not fair to anybody. It's not fair to yourself. It's not fair to them. It's not fair at all. Same with a girlfriend. Oh, I've got 2 girlfriends and I don't know which one to pick. Well, you need to get off your little behind and make a choice, because it's not fair. It's very hurtful. Okay. And that's why, no offense to other cultures, polygamy is really hard to do, because no matter what, somebody is going to get hurt, or somebody is hurt. Okay. It's just a cultural thing for a lot of people, but yeah. Okay. So, current energies, what do we have here? The Hungry Ghost. Current energies is about obsessions. I can't read that far away. I'm getting old. Obsessions, scarcity, consciousness, and attachment. So it's basically saying that you're not really listening to what your consciousness is telling you. Okay. You're being more obsessed and attached to the flesh than what is actually good for you. I can't make this stuff up, you guys. I can't make this up. This is not me. It is also the number 5. It's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. Have you ever sat on a fence? Try to sit on a fence for a long time. Your butt is going to hurt, and you're going to want to get off. Let's try to straddle a fence. Your butt's going to want to get off. Okay, so this is the thing, is paying attention to your conscious, paying attention to your spirit, paying attention to your intuition. What is your intuition? Is your guide, because that's where spirit lies, that's where Holy Spirit lies, that's where your soul is. So really paying attention to that. Okay, it's time for healing. What do you need to heal from? What is it that's really been, how when you're, thank you. So when you're over something, you know how to tell when you're over something? It doesn't matter anymore. So you can talk about it, you can share, you can do whatever, and it just doesn't bother you. Yeah, I'm fine. But when you get angry or upset or frustrated or anything of that, you're not over it yet. You haven't healed it. And you might act from the outside, yeah, it doesn't bother me, not a problem. But inside, you're really festering, like, oh yeah, how dare they do that to me? How do that? But on the outside, you're like, yeah, I'm over it. Over it. But it's sort of like I was watching, I watched a show, and they killed my man. They killed my man. I was watching a show on, it's called All American, and Taye Diggs is one of my favorite actors. He's just a little yummy chocolate drop. But they killed him on the show. And so the wife and the kids, of course, are distraught, and they're grieving and everything like that. But she was trying to act normal. But then she blew up. So that normal acting, saying everything's fine, I'm going to be fine, everything is not. But then there was a situation where the dad actually was a coach, and they were on a bus, and it turned over, and there was one student still in the bus. So he went in to get him. The student got out, but the dad died. The coach died. And so basically he had the boy had survivor's regret. And so the mom, who the husband had passed, was all over that, and that anger came out. However, it was displaced in the wrong place, but she was acting normal until she saw him. So triggers happen. I guess that's why I'm telling that, is because triggers happen. So how you act on something that you're healing from, you will know you are really 100% over it when it doesn't bother you inside and out. Okay. So be honest and truthful with yourself. That is a time for healing. All right. This is supposed to keep my coffee hot. It doesn't keep my coffee hot. So let's go. Libras. Oh my goodness. I was going to try to do a reading in Disneyland, but the hotel we were staying in, they were doing construction. And so every time I'd get up in the morning and go quietly to get my cup of coffee and sit and do a reading, all of a sudden you'd hear a jackhammer. I was like, I can't do that to you guys. I can't do that to you guys. So I got to actually have a little bit of a vacation. All right, let's see, Libras, what it is. What are you landing in between? What are you going in between? Too many cards. A second. Thank you. Okay, so he's asking me to look at the hungry ghosts. And the thing is, somebody's afraid to be left behind. So we sometimes are attached to people too much. And then that stops our journey and our focus on where we need to go. Definitely, what or who are you being attached to? Okay, now if you're married and you're attached, say for example, I don't know who this is for, this might be happening to you, or something similar, excuse me, that, for say, the person wants to go off and they want to go to a college, or they want to do something of their own nature. Say you're married, but they want to, get a master's or get a degree in something, but it's down the road. Maybe they've got to move or do something of that nature. And then the partner says, you know what, I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. So you've got this tug of war of consciousness between two hearts. Okay. So this land might be somebody's heart also. So you're looking at you. So this is why being in relationships is really important, that you're both on the same page so that you know where to go. So if somebody's going to go off and work on their career and the other person isn't supportive, or what happens is they support them and then it's their turn and then that person says, well, I have mine now, so I'm gone. So those kind of things can create animosity and things that create an obsession. So we need to understand that we're in a relationship, that we need to be a person, and then we come together as a unity to help each other. But you don't give up each other. Okay, this is probably the healing for somebody, that you've given yourself up for another person, or you've lost yourself in another person. That's where that attachment is. Okay, look at the two. One really wants to go off, one is not really paying attention, one is just sort of like there. So really making sure that you detach yourself as you, being who you are, from that person, but loving that person enough, that other person, to do and be the person that they want to be. That's what's going on with this reading. So there's the world, the opportunities for that. And that is going to just depend on your choices in how you handle it and how you handle yourself. So this is where we get between the lands, and where God is saying that don't become obsessed about something. Don't lose your consciousness of who you are. Don't lose yourself and attach yourself to somebody that you're going to lose yourself with. Somebody who has, I hear, control, somebody who has control over you and how you're going to live your life and how you're going to make your decisions. It's sort of like if you're in a relationship, you should be able to have money you should have a transparency about how you're handling your money. If you want a bank account, I want a bank account. We put a bank account together to take care of the bills, maybe to save to go on a vacation, that kind of thing. Or do you want to just put it all in together and we just divide it, if something happens? This is where that consciousness comes in. You're not attaching yourself. You're still being your own person, that kind of a thing. This is a choice. This is something that you can do. But here's the thing with the King of Pentacles. Sorry, I'm getting a bunch of stuff coming through. King of Pentacles, it is about money. It is about how you divide things, how you share things, how you come together with things. You can't do it on two different levels. You have to be on the same level. So you can come to the middle with finances. However, you're going to have to really talk about that with somebody. This is your center card. Okay, this is the 10 of Cups. This is about having everything that you desire, want, and hope for. That's got to come through. What was the other sign that had smoke and mirrors? You can't you can't be delusional. You cannot have illusion to what is really happening. You have to have the facts. Okay, if this is going to work for your relationship, you've got to have the facts, because your future energy is the spark. It's number 7. It's the rewards that come with making things happen individually and coming together as a unity. Does that make sense to anybody? Because definitely somebody doesn't want to do that. But if you sort of compromise to a point, we all are going to have to compromise, because especially as you get older, if you're in a relationship, we can become more stubborn, we can become more sensitive, we can become more different. And it's not just because we want to, it's just because the way our life is. So that takes a lot of talking, a lot of sharing, a lot of transparency, and a lot of healing to be able to do that. Okay, you have to be with a partner that you can be transparent with, be able to talk about money, be able to talk about children, to be able to talk about buying a house, where you want to live, what jobs you want to do, how you're going to do it separately but together, how you want to do everything. Okay, so this is definitely, the world is at your feet here, but again, it's going to have to be your choice. Spin that wheel. That's the wheel of fortune, is that it's all going to be your choice. But you can't have both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Okay, well, I should say you can have your cake and eat it too, but you won't have anything left. Okay, and it depends on what kind of frosting you put on your cake, if I want any. Oh, my daughter just says, "Oh, you're such a boomer, Mom." But there is a spark, okay? There is a spark. There is somebody who may be coming into a new relationship. This is something where you got to build your foundation. That's what Divine is saying. The number 4 in numerology is where you're going to, if you don't talk about things in the beginning, don't expect things to get better in the end. Because if you don't get those elephants out of the room when you first start getting into a relationship, I'm saying, like, after 10, 20 dates, something like that, or if you're talking about moving in together, boy, you better be talking. If somebody doesn't want to talk, you better talk. It's like, well, I don't know, and doing things out of fear, moving in or getting married with somebody out of fear. It's like, well, I don't know. We'll find out later. It'll work out later. Don't do that, honey. Don't do that. Don't do that. You manifest those conversations and get the elephants out of the room, because you'll make a better decision, because you have something new and something that is fresh, but also something has to end. So you've got to put your healing in first. That's the ending of a bad situation or trauma, something that is not helping you in the long run. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So he's got the 5 of Wands, which he says, so somebody's afraid that there's going to be fighting and arguing. If you're fighting and arguing, then that's not a really good relationship. You should be able to communicate without fighting and arguing. Okay, there is a way to agree to disagree. Now, if you want to watch, I think it is Effective Communication on my, I think I put it on here on Divine Warrior Intuitive. But also Get Balanced 2020 has an excellent video I did on effective communication. Go and watch that because you'll never argue again in your life. You shouldn't have to argue. It's just like, okay, I see your perspective. This is my perspective. Do we come together? If we don't come together, can we agree to disagree, or can we compromise in the middle? So there is no way. So a lot of people have a fear that they're going to get mad, they're going to argue, that kind of a thing. But no, this is an opening of a new door. This is, look at the love in between there. There's a spark. This creates a new level of the relationship. I don't usually talk about love and relationships, but apparently this is happening in yours. All right, Libras. Again, this has to do around communication, a lot around communication, because you're living again on both sides of the land. Somebody's just like, or somebody's been arguing. Somebody is not paying attention to what is real. It's just they're being stubborn in their own perspective and not looking at somebody else's. Okay. So definitely got some arguing. We also have the Page of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and then we have Judgment. Okay, so what does that mean with all these cards together? That means that if you really take the curiosity, you take the curiosity out, or take the unclear and get more clarity on something, you definitely need to talk about it. And somebody's really afraid of being judgmental. You know what? If they're going to be judgmental, then they're not the right person for you. Okay. I don't think this person is judgmental. I think that somebody has a fear to talk to them because of maybe the past or a situation or something. But I think you're really going to realize that it's a new foundation. It's uncomfortable to talk to somebody. It's really uncomfortable because, but when you do, this creates a new level of healing. Even if it's not with the person that you love, if you get a counselor, a coach, if something, sometimes you just talk to somebody, you can hear yourself and you can open up doors that you never even thought that you could do. I think everybody should have a counselor, a therapist, or a coach, because it just opens up a new idea, a new way of communication, some new energies of that nature, as long as it's in love and light, which most coaches and therapists and counselors are. But this again is what you manifest, and how you manifest it through how you carry yourself through conversation, how you carry yourself through your partnership, and where you're at with that partnership. Now, this could be a love partnership, this could be a business partnership, this could be a father daughter, father mother, mother daughter, whatever. It could be any of those. It doesn't mean that this has to be a love relationship, but it's what we manifest, and we want to manifest this. But the challenge is, can I go share this information with that person? You've got to release that fear. Okay. And that's how when you release the fear, then you begin to heal. Okay. When you release the distrust, you begin to heal, because this person here is not this person over here. Okay. And if this person wasn't transparent, make sure that that person is transparent. That kind of a thing. All right, Libras. That is your reading for the end of the month. Things, we are moving in a good positive. Things are moving slowly. However, the end of the month is sort of quiet, but that overlying energy of trying to just go with the flow rather than trying to control everything is what's happening with the planets in your numerology. Something does need to change. Something does need to happen, but that's not going to happen until you make the choice to make it happen and stop living on both sides, and just, so that's your authentic self. Stop living for and being somebody you're not. Stop living in fear and be the authentic self you need to be, and allow those people around you to be around you that love you for your authentic self. Okay? Because there is attachment there that for somebody that is not healthy. There's attachment for somebody that is actually new, a little scary, but make sure it's for the right reasons, because what you don't want to be in a relationship, a friendship, or a business partner, or anything that has been manipulated and manifested to where it's not going to be. How do you know if it's the right place? Your spirit will tell you, your intuition will tell you. But are you listening? All right. I hope this was helpful. Again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you watched this. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy doing this. I don't get it to do it as often as I want to. Maybe someday I can do it full time. But I really hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Don't forget, if you want to watch more leather videos, please go to Leather Lady LLC on YouTube, or llc.com for my for my website. And I will see you on the next reading. Don't forget to walk in absolute truth, love, and light. Patty out.